Shall we start?
Yes, miss.
Okay. Now pay attention here. The road not taken. The poem is very beautiful. This is a famous and beautiful poem written by Robert Forrest. It is about the journey of life and what he decided when he is at a crossroads. The poem is deciding about the future. The poet Robert Forrest is telling us that he came across two roads. One was used and the other had not been used. The poet took the untrodden way and kept the other part for another day. This made a lot of difference in his life. Let's see what the poem is there. Two roads diverge in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both. And be one traveler, long I stood and looked down when as far as I could to where it bent in the underground. The poet is standing at a fork in a road in a forest where the trees have yellow leaves. There are two roads going in a separate direction. He is sorry that he cannot travel along both the roads. He stands there for a long time and peers down on road till the place where it bends and it's covered with bushes. Then took the other as just as fair and having the perhaps the better claim because it was a grassy and wanted wear. Though as for the passing there, had warned them really about the same. Then he takes the other road, which was just as good. He felt more attracted to it because it was grassy and did not seem much used. Through the through at the fork, both the roads seemed equally well used, and both the morning equally lie in leaves. No step had trodden back. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way. I doubt if I should ever come back. That morning both of them seemed equally covered with leaves that had not been blackened by the footstep of people. He chose one road and kept the first one for another day. However, he knew how one decision led to another, and he doubted if he would ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sign somewhere ages and ages hence. Two rows diverge if in a wood, and I took one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. He says that he will be telling this with a sign somewhere many years later that when two roads went in different direction in a wood, he took one that was less traveled by and that has made all the difference in his life. Parawise, I am going to you. Listen here. Once again, I am giving you explanation. Pay attention. See here. First para. First para, I am explaining to you. The poet standing at a fork in a road in a forest where the tree have yellow leaves. There are two roads going in a separate directions. He is sorry that he cannot travel along both the roads. He stands there for a long time and peers down one road till the place where it's bent and it's covered with bushes. Understood first by all of you? Understood first para?
Yes, miss.
Yes,
Other?
miss.
Okay. Shall I go for next? See here, next para.
Yes, miss.
Then he takes the other road, which was just as good. He felt more attracted to it because it was grassy and did not seem much used. Though at the fork, both the roads seemed equally well used. Second pair understood?
Yes, miss.
Now we will go for a third para. See in the textbook only, you see the pictures. Two roads are given, but both the road had not used, but looking equally as the same. What the writer want to think? What the writer want to say to us? That morning, both of them seemed equally covered with leaves that had not been blackened by the footstep of people. He chose one road and kept the first one for another day. However, he knew how one decision led to another, and he doubted if he would ever come back. This is your third para. Now we'll go for a fourth para. He says that he will be telling this with a sign somewhere many years later that when two roads went in a different direction in a wood, he took the one that was less traveled by, and that has made all the difference in his life. Got it?
Yes, miss.
Once again, I am repeating to you. Taking the less traveled road made a lot of difference in the poet life because on this road he did not meet his friend and relatives. He did not know what he was going to be coming in front of him with on this road. Neither did he know what problems he would have to face. Whenever we are choosing the life, when we are choosing the futures, whatever the difficulty will come, we don't know anything. हमें नहीं पता रहता what will be happen, but we have to face and we have to fight for that difficulties, then only we will win. For example, in 10th standard, we are work hard for the percentage, but whatever we have done, that only we will get, not more, not less. Whatever we have put the effort, whatever we have worked hard, whatever we had done the struggles, what time we had given in the studies, that percentage only we will face. But we have to fight for that. We have to accept whatever is coming in a way, we have to accept. The poet took the road which was not frequently used by people, and he wondered to himself whether he would ever return and take the first road that he kept for another day. However, Robert Forrest, the poet, says that the decision to take the less traveled road made a lot of difference in his life. I'm sure I will take the road that most people had chosen because here I will meet all my friends and acquaintances. Whenever help was needed, I will be sure to get help. Whenever I felt lonely, I will have a company. I will be doing what everyone else was doing. There will not be anything new that I will be facing. Everything will be routine and ordinary. This is fine for people who do not want to take risks in their lives. Most probably, we are looking the people what they are taking, that only we are taking. We are thinking ना कि we will get benefit from them. अगर हम लोग वो लोग के पास ये चीज़ है तो that same we have also that same thing. Whenever the difficulty will be there, we will face and we will help. We will take the help from themselves. Sometimes we are choosing this thing in our life. Robert Forrest, while referring to the road, that everyone takes the states that everything is ordinary and routine. There is nothing new along this road. The other road is the road not traveled by people. Here you must be prepared for something new. You must be ready to take a chance and hope for the best. On this road, you cannot pretend what you are going to face because things are different. You must to learn to explore yourself, face uncertainties, and still come out as a winner. Now understood the poem, all of you?
Yes, miss.
Yes.
Properly, you all had understood the poem? Shall I repeat? All right, understood? Boys?
Yes, miss.
Okay. Now, you're having the notebook with you all? Some critical appreciation I want to give you of this poem. Critical appreciation is there. All are having the notebook?
Yes,
Be
miss.
ready. Be ready with your notebook. Fast, quick. Because this critical appreciation will come in your unit test, huh? Third and fourth unit tests.
Okay, miss.
Come on, write fast. Shall I give? Okay. Come on.
Yes, miss.
In a paragraph format, if you have to write title, the poet who has written the poem, the road not taken. Come on, in title you have to write the poet who has written the poem. The poet who has written the poem, the road not taken, is none other than is none other than well known.
Miss, repeat, please.
The poet who has written the poem, the road not taken. The poet who has written the poem, the road not taken, is none other than the well-known Robert Forrest. The well-known Robert Forrest. See, the spelling is given in your textbook only. See, the poet name is last. Got all of you? Shall I repeat this line? Okay, shall I proceed?
Proceed, miss.
Okay, now next, central idea. The poet is telling us, write properly central idea, huh? And put 2 colon there after central idea. The poet is telling us that he has he had to face 2 roads. The poet is telling us that he had to face 2 roads. One of them used a great deal. The poet is telling us that he had to face 2 roads. One of them used a great deal and the other one not used at all. The poet is telling us that he had to face 2 roads. One of them used a great deal and the other one not used at all. He had to make a decision as to which road,
Miss, other one.
not use at all. Not use at all. He had to make a decision as to which road he had to make a decision as to which road he will take. He had to make a decision as to which road he will take. The poet decided to take the untrodden part. The poet decided to take the untrodden part.
मिस टू विच रोड के बाद क्या है?
He will take The poet decided to take the untrodden part, and this made a vast difference to his life. And this made a vast difference to his life. The poet did not want to simply do what others did. The poet did not want to simply do what others did. The poet did not want to simply do what others did. The poet did not want to simply do what others did. He wanted to make his own decision, and this helped him to think for himself. He wanted to make his own decision, and this helped him to think for himself. Completed?
His own decision.
And this helped him to think for himself. And this helped him to think for himself. Shall I repeat?
No, miss.
Anyone wants? Once again? Okay,
No,
shall I
miss.
go for next? Okay. Now we will go for third one. There's a rhyme scheme. Rhyme scheme. Rhyme scheme oblique favorite line. Rhyme scheme. Don't put the oblique. Okay, only khali write a rhyme scheme. After rhyme scheme, favorite line is there. So don't put the oblique. First write the rhyme scheme. The rhyme scheme of the poem is the rhyme scheme of the poem is A B A A B. The rhyme scheme of the poem is A B A A B. And the rhyming words are, because in this poem rhyming words also there, huh? Rhyming scheme also there and rhyming words also there. The rhyming words are wood wood stood cold.
Miss words are
Wood, WOOD, wood stood could both growth fair were fair were there. Claim same lie day black back over till here.
just 2 seconds.
Over till here. Okay. Now favorite line. Favorite line. Every line in the poem has a significance of its own. Every line in the poem has a significance of its own. Every line in the poem has a significance of its own. Every line in the poem has a significance of its own. The lines that appeal to me are every line in the poem has a significance of its own. The lines that appeal to me are
Miss Apple की spelling.
APPEAL, apple. Appeal to me means मुझे जो पसंद है. That is called appeal to me. Means मुझे ये line पसंद है. Depend upon your choice what you like the lines. It is not compulsory that I had given you that line only you have to write in the exam. Depends upon you which line is your favorite. That line you have to write in the critical appreciation. Clear? It is not compulsory that I had given that line only you have to write. No. Which line is your favorite? That only you have to write. But from my side, my line is I
I
look the
look
one
the one less already
travel by.
different.
I look the ones less travel by. See, you will get in the passage only. I look the one less travel by, and that has made all the difference. See, it's last line, last para, second, last para, fourth line. I took the one less travel by, and that has made all the difference.
Miss the lines that Apple के बाद क्या है?
Which one?
The lines that Apple के बाद तुमने डायरेक्ट ये poem की
Appeal
line
to
लिखी
me.
है ना?
हाँ, that line only you have to write. That poem line you have to write. I look the one less travel by, and that has made all the difference. Now next is figure of speech.
Miss just a minute.
Okay.
Continue, Miss.
Okay. Now figure of speech. The poet has used many figure of speech, such as many figure of speech is there, but important figure of speech only we will write. The poet has used many figure of speech, such as the poet has used many figure of speech, such as inversion, comma, repetition, comma, exclamation. Please write the spelling properly. Don't do the mistake. Repetition. Repetion. Repetition. The poet has used many figure of speech such as inversion, spelling of inversion, 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 repetition, exclamation. The figure of speech that I like in the poem is the figure of speech that I like in the poem is the figure of speech that I like in the poem is somewhere ages and ages hence. Somewhere ages and ages hence. The figure of speech that I like in the poem is somewhere ages and ages hence. This is repetition. but it stress on the year that will pass by. This is repetition, but it stress on the years that will pass by. This is repetition, but it stress on the year that will pass by.
Miss, please repeat once again after repetition.
After repetition, listen. But it stress, spelling of stress, STRESS, but stress on the years that will pass by. But it stress on the years that will pass by.
Completed, Miss.
Okay. Now next. Spatial features implied meaning. Spatial features oblique implied meaning. Spatial feature oblique implied meaning. Spatial features implied meaning. Shall I say?
Yes, Miss.
The symbolism used bring out the message. The symbolism. Spelling of symbolism SYMBOLISM. SYMBOLISM. The symbolism used bring out the message beautifully. The symbolism used brings out the message beautifully. The poem is an extended metaphor. The poem is an extended metaphor. The two roads, the two roads went in a different direction. Two roads went in a different direction. Stand for the choices. Stand for the choices we have in our lives. Stand for the choices we have in our lives. It make us think about. It make us think about how we make our choices. It make us think about how we make our choices and the difference our decision can make. And the difference our decisions can make.
Miss, who
What
we
happened?
who we make और की बात क्या है मिस?
Make us think about how we make our choices, how we make our choices, and the difference our decisions can make. And the difference our decision can make.
Miss, decision
Can make.
completed, Miss.
Okay, now last point. Why I like oblique, don't like the poem. Why I like, put a oblique sign. Then write don't like the poem. Right? Because the poet is giving us the message. Because the poet is giving us the message that we must learn to think for ourselves. Because the poet is giving us the message that we must learn to think for ourselves and make our own decision in life and make our own decision in life.
that we must question
Learn to think for ourselves and make our own decision in life. We must not copy others and do what others. We must not copy others and do what others are doing. We must not copy others and do what others are doing. We must not copy others and do what others are doing. We must not copy others and do what others are doing. Maybe things will not go on well. Maybe things will not go on well. As soon as we make the decision, we must not copy others and do what others are doing. Maybe things will not go on well. As soon as we make the decision, we make the decision, but with our persistence, and hard work, we will succeed. But with
Yes,
our
complete.
persistence, PERSISTENCE, persistence. But with our persistence and hard work, we will succeed. The figure of speech, the rhyme scheme, and the rhyming words. The figure of speech, the rhyme scheme, and the rhyming words used by the poet has helped to make the poem. The figure of speech, the rhyme scheme, and the rhyming word used by the poet has helped to make the poem even more interesting and delightful to read. By the poet has helped to make the poem even more interesting and delightful to read. Completed or shall I repeat?
completed miss.
Okay, completed. Na? Okay, underline the poem in your textbook only. Somewhere ages and ages hence, repetition. Write there figure of speech, repetition. Got all of you? Line.
Yes,
See
miss.
last para, second line. Somewhere ages and ages hence. This is repetition. Now next one is Oh, I kept the first for another day. Oh, I kept the first for another day. See, third para, third line. Exclamation. Oh, I kept the first for another day. Got all of you?
Yes, miss.
Now next, NB1 traveler, long I stood. See first para, third line. NB1 traveler, long I stood. Inversion. Which figure of speech? Inversion. Got all of you? Completed? Completed all of you? Figure of speech completed now? Okay.
Yes, miss.
Now we are ending the lecture here. Continue at 11 o'clock.
Okay, miss.
Thank you all of you.